Alright, I feel this is a pretty good time to begin to teach you a little something about hypnosis and NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, which is a type of conversational hypnosis. And I feel I need to teach you this now so that you are aware of it. Because being aware of it is half the battle, to not be affected by it. Right now the media is ablaze about Dylan Roof, the lone gunman that went into the church and killed 9 black people. Obviously racially motivated. And of course the media is going to jump on this because that's what they love to focus us on. They focus on it so that we'll focus on it. Anything that is polarizing, whether it be race, sexual orientation issues such as gay marriage, anything political, they focus on these things to keep us focused on these things. Because let's face it, people have short attention spans nowadays. If they weren't always putting these things in front of your face, you would move on to something else, eventually. Perhaps even the real issues that they don't want us focused upon. Fukushima's still melting down over there in Japan. In fact, it's worse. The BP oil spill is still having effects on the Gulf region. You never hear about those things anymore, do you? It's a basic out of sight, out of mind tactic, and it works. So whatever they repeat over and over and over and over and over and over again is what they want you focused upon. It's what they want to put into your mind. And I've said it before, I've said it 1,000 times, that everything begins in the mind. So today I'm going through social media and just browsing around, and I keep seeing the same term over and over and over again. And that is race war. Such as this article, Dylan Roof wanted to start a race war. Okay, well that's not surprising considering the act that he had committed. But I keep seeing other stories pop up using the phrase race war. Woman calls for race war at scene of church shooting. Black activists fear race war amid Charleston shooting. Hopeful right-winger says race war, sign of the times. And that article is about our good old friend Alex Jones. The point is, anytime media has a shift in language, it's something you need to pay attention to. This would have been normally just good old racism, but now we're starting to see the shift in language to race war. And if it was just the one article about Dylan Roof, well then maybe that wouldn't be as alarming. But when you start to see it pop up in other articles, and if it's something that the media is going to keep repeating over and over again, it then becomes an idea that they're trying to implant into our minds. But this is how you do it, is it not? For all that I know about hypnosis, NLP, and the subconscious mind, I mean, that's how I do it. We've watched some Bob Proctor videos about doing affirmations repeatedly over and over and over again to get the idea into the subconscious. Now, it doesn't matter whether these articles are for someone calling for a race war or someone fearing that there's going to be a race war. It doesn't matter if you're for or against it. The idea of race war is still being implanted into your minds. And so we need to be diligent in watching for these things. You have to guard the gates of your mind, especially when it comes to media. Media wants everybody fighting with everybody. Otherwise, they wouldn't have us focusing on such polarizing topics all the time, constantly and consistently. Many of my subscribers already know how much I go on about depolarizing oneself. Because when you do, you're less affected by this kind of thing, and you're able to see it for what it is. more easily without it being pointed out to you. Alright, so let's take a look at this story again, this picture, this headline for this particular article. And as you read that headline, what's wrong with it? Does anything stand out to you? This is something you normally wouldn't give a second thought to. And as I've explained before, it's the things you don't catch that you need to be concerned with. Once you're aware of it, just as in magic, the conscious mind will be a filter. It will block things from getting into the subconscious. What you're seeing here is an old NLP technique called analog marking. And analog marking can be used both in vocal communication or can be in text, in print. And so they like to use analog marking in their written articles. Analog marking is when you embed a command into your text or your conversation and mark it so that it stands out from the rest of what you're saying. Now, when speaking, this could either be a change in tone of voice or even speed. But in cases of text, it could be capitalizing all the letters or italicizing the command or even putting them in quotes. Dylan Roof wanted to start a race war with "start a race war" in the quotation. It should be Dylan Roof wanted to start a race war with just race war in the quotation. But they put "start a race war" in the quotation. This is classic analog marking. This is a command. And then you have people reading this and they don't know that this command is being embedded in their subconscious mind because they're not aware of these techniques. They're not aware of NLP, hypnosis, analog marking. But I'm telling you now so that you can be aware of it so this doesn't affect you and you know what to look for. And I'm not being conspiratorial. Okay? I don't have a conspiracy mindset, but I do know the subconscious mind and how it operates because this is my field of expertise. This is what I teach. If I wanted to start a race war among the general masses and had the resources to do it, this is exactly what I would do. I would have everyone focus on racial inequality to build the tension over a long period of time, and then at the right moment, I would start embedding "start a race war" and having you focus all on that terminology, race war, race war. And that's exactly how I do it. The subconscious will take over the rest. Do not trust the media. Everything they say is hearsay anyway. We have no first-hand knowledge of what transpired on any story that they're telling us. We have to take their word for it. And even the things that are true, they're going to put their spin on it. I'd like everyone to stay informed, but at the same time, it's gotten to the point where it's best to just ignore the media. The things that they have us focusing on are never going to do us any good. The reason racial tensions are so high is because the media is putting it in front of us over and over and over again. Can anyone else not see this? The media are masters of the art of tunnel vision, and they have us like dogs with a cone around our head, only able to focus on what they put in front of us, most of which are polarizing topics. Yes, there is social injustice. Yes, there are racially motivated murders and violence. But there are also acts of love and compassion that they don't have us focusing on. In this realm of duality, you're going to have both the good and the evil. And right now, they're having us focus on the evil. Don't fall for these masters of manipulation's mind tricks. They like to keep agitating the wound so that it will never heal. How is a wound going to heal if you keep picking at it? So I want you to be aware of this NLP technique, analog marking especially, and to know that when they keep repeating things over and over and over again, that they're trying to put a concept into your mind. And now that you're consciously aware of this, you will be shielded from it, which is the point of this video. And I will see you next time. Take care.